Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alison, the online piano and violin tutor. So since it has been several years since I released my original violin lessons 1 to 10, which are now beginning to look a little bit dated, I thought it would be a really good time to revisit and release new and up-to-date videos using the latest technology available to me. As well as updating all of the free PDF sheets from the original lessons, I've written a songbook 1 that will accompany these lessons. Once you've finished lesson 10, I then encourage you to have a go at this songbook, which contains 10 well-known classical and original pieces, which is going to help you practice and reaffirm the knowledge and skills gained from video lessons 1 to 10. What's great about this book is that instead of hunting all over the internet trying to find suitable pieces to play for your current level, only to find pieces that you like but are too hard, this is where the Songbook 1 comes in, as it will not only contain pieces you'll be able to manage, but each piece comes complete with its own separate video performance and tutorial where I will help you through the piece. So let's get started with the new violin lessons 1 to 10, and I hope you enjoy them. So lesson 8, we're going to be talking about the third and the fourth finger. So the free sheet to this, as always, is linked directly underneath this video. So I'll assume that you've downloaded and printed that out. And what we're going to be doing here is going through the third and fourth finger. So we've looked at the 4 open strings, we've looked at the 4 first finger notes, so that's 8. Then we've added in the second finger notes, that takes us to 12. Now we're adding in the third finger note, so that takes us to 16 notes, and the fourth finger, which are technically the same as the open string. So, you know, maybe that counts as a note, maybe it kind of doesn't, but we're looking at 16, learning 16 new notes. Stroke 20 if you want to include the fourth fingers being exactly the same as the open string notes. So again, as with the other ones, with the first 2 exercises, I've added in the finger markings for the new third finger notes, and then for the rest of the exercises 3, 4, 5 and 6, I haven't put any finger numbers in because I've assumed that you've obviously learned where those are. I mean, if you come across an unidentified note, it's going to be a third finger, obviously, because you've learned the open, the 1 and the second finger. You just need to work out which string it is, and this one you need to work out which kind of note it's closest to. So for example, the picture might be starting to sort of get to you now, but the first one is an open D, the second 2 notes are an F, which is a second finger on the D string, and then obviously this one here is right next to it with the third finger, so common sense tells you it's going to be third finger on the D string. It isn't going to be a third finger on any other string because it's going to be way higher or way lower. So just kind of look to see what note is before or after it, because that will tell you exactly what string you're going to be on. So, you know, this one is before a second finger, and then the second finger on the D. So the first note was an open D, second 2 notes were a second finger on the D. Then the next note with a 3, you can see it's right next door to it on the music. So obviously it's going to be right next door to it finger-wise, not jumping onto any other strings. Now the fourth fingers, again, I've written those in, and they are going to be the same as open strings. Now, it's up to you whether you want to do fourth fingers or not. Do the fourth fingers. If you see an open string, do it as a fourth finger, if possible. But when you will have to play those on the music will depend on the music. It will depend on a number of things. The music will either tell you, or you might find that by going over to an open string, you're doing too many string crossings, so it might be easier to keep the fourth finger on that string, to keep all of the notes on the string. For example, if you're on the A string and you've got some A's, B's, C's and D's, and then you've got an E, and then you're back down to those notes on the A string, you don't really want to be doing too many string crossings because it's quite difficult to do. It's not very, you know, you're going to hit other notes, so it's easier. It's much easier to use those fourth fingers. Now, lots of people don't like using fourth fingers because they are a very weak part of the hand, and I get that. But you are going to need them. There's no way you'll get away from using them. So you are going to need them, and you should use them. I mean, my fourth finger is still weak. I'm still, you know, I use it, but it is just a weak part of the human hand. But it is stronger, you know, than obviously it used to be before I started to play the violin. and it's something that I'm used to using anyway. But as beginners, I know we don't like using fourth fingers, but you know, try and get used to them if you can, and they are very useful in the long run. Okay, so I'm going to start with exercise 1. So if I've written in a fourth finger, use it. If I haven't, play it as an open string. Exercise 2. Exercise 3. And exercise 4. And exercise 5. And finally, exercise 6. So that's it with basically all the fingers. So now you've learnt to put all the fingers down on the strings, you've learnt where they all are. So it's important now that you don't move on until you have understood this. So you can see that as the exercises were going up and as we were going up through the lessons, the pieces were able to get more, they were getting a little bit more complicated, but not only that, a little bit more tuneful as well, because the more notes that we're able to add in, the more kind of scope we have with tunes and things like that. But with these exercises, I just wanted to keep them as exercises, so no particular real melody, because I feel like if I started to put in popular songs that everybody knows and hears, that's when you start kind of, part of your brain switches off and just starts, your hands just kind of start to second guess and start to kind of guess and work out by ear what the notes should be and where they should be. And then you're not really learning everything the proper way. So this is why I kind of made these exercises slightly random so they don't make sense. However, when you go onto the songbook that I've done, I'll link the songbook directly underneath this. As I mentioned in the start of the video, the songbook contains a mixture of original and well-known classical pieces that accumulate everything we've learned in all these lessons. If you've got the songbook, you can either start some of the pieces in the songbook as well, or you can wait until we finish the rest of the lessons. It's completely up to you what you want to do. But now would be a good time to start Songbook 1 if that's something that you wanted to do. Sometimes you can get a little bit bored with these exercises, and there are only 6 of them as well. So with the songbook, there are 10 more pieces that you can have a practice with. And don't forget as well, those pieces have been specifically arranged by me for you guys, knowing that you've been following this course. So I think when you're learning the violin, you want to go on the internet and find some sheet music, but you can't find anything that's the right level for you. It's either way too easy, you know, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and that's not what you want to do because you've done it in 5 seconds, or it's really, really hard and there's so many things in there that you look at the music and you're overwhelmed because you don't have a clue where to start or what any of it means. So the beauty about the songbook is that I have laid everything out for you. So everything that you've been doing thus far in these lessons is in that songbook. Plus they come with videos as well, where if there's things that I think you're not going to understand or extra little things I've sneakily added into the songbook, I explain those in those videos, which obviously you don't get with the other pieces that you find on the internet. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in lesson 9.